Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Are you tired of the same old blah, 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 blah from the media? Do you like unfiltered commentary? Would you like to go back to the days when our rights meant something? Well, you've come to the right place, Crisco's Corner. The fight to get back the ideals of our founders will be long and hard. Please support the channel by subscribing. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back to Crisco's Corner. McCarthy lays into Pelosi, claims Democrats aren't aware of what Americans need. Some House members booed McCarthy while others cheered him on. For those of you who don't know, Kevin McCarthy is the minority leader in the House of Representatives. Let's see what Mr. McCarthy had to say. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy on Sunday took House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her party to task for being more concerned about a far-left agenda rather than focus on the needs of the American people. McCarthy's fiery speech came after Pelosi was reelected as House Speaker by Democrats. I'll have a short episode on that as well. We retained the majority of the House with the slimmest margin in 20 years. Stopping short of mentioning Democrats by name, McCarthy called out House lawmakers for neglecting their responsibilities of the last 2 years during some of the most challenging times of our country. Yeah, there's always going to be politics involved, okay, on both sides of the aisle. But these Democrats, everything is politics for political effect, whether it helps people or not. Their need for control and power is number one. Who it hurts, who it destroys, to get that, don't care. Could care less. Well, the need for more pandemic relief is obvious. Did we deliver a timely lifeline America needed? Or did we say nothing was better than something until politics dictated our actions? He's right. McCarthy said, when unrest spilled into the cities and communities across the country, did we deliver safety to Americans wanted, or did we let calls to defund the police intimidate us from protecting life, liberty, and property? I will say, I've been a local city councilman here in upstate New York, and the first term I was in the minority, and the second term I was in the majority, Democrat both terms, now Republican since 2013. It's much easier to be in the minority. I'll admit that freely. It's easy to criticize when they're in a minority, but that's the way it goes. That's the way life is. To this, multiple House members could be heard booing while others cheered in the House Minority Leader on. McCarthy then contrasted the Democratic platform with the Republican platform, the Democrat one, saying that his party's been actually listened to his constituents, and they have a commitment to America to restore our way of life, rebuild the economy, and renew the American dream. The economy was being rebuilt. It were numbers that were lifetime numbers in 2019. It was just a fluke of luck what happened with the COVID-19. It was such a shame because we were really rocking the economy hard. And no Republican incumbent was defeated in the November election, showed that voters have endorsed common sense, not conflict. That's true. Up until this point, no Republican incumbent has been defeated. Now, there is one race, even though it's a Democrat incumbent. I live in upstate New York, in New York's 22nd Congressional District. I'm not going to have any representation for several days, maybe several weeks, who knows, depending on how a court rules, because of the ridiculousness of these unsolicited ballots and the easy way that anybody and everybody could register online in New York State. Former Congressmember Claudia Tenney was ahead election night over incumbent Anthony Brindisi by over 28,000 votes. My understanding right now, it's like 40 votes. Well, it was 14 before, then it was 11. Now it's 40. Who the hell knows? And the Democrats did this. The Democrats did this. So those of you that are screaming that the tinfoil hat Trump supporters saying there's no FRAUD in the election in November, you caused this mayhem on purpose. Did you cause the virus? Of course not. That'd be stupid to say that. But you certainly took advantage of the chaos, and you can't deny that. It was a referendum against a radical agenda to fund the police and punish hard work. There's a Freudian slip. It was a wake-up call, McCarthy said, adding that he would never, never, never vote to defund the police. Before officially congratulating Pelosi, I like that. On her fourth term as House Speaker, McCarthy vowed to fight for the people he represents, farmers and oil field workers who rise at the dawn to go to work and pray to God and raise the next generation of good, decent citizens. That's all we want. Leave us the hell alone to live our lives, to raise our families, to run our businesses, to work in our communities. Leave us the hell alone. Can we keep that commitment to America? No more misplaced priorities. The American people deserve better. America is worth fighting for. America's rights are worth fighting for. Yeah, we're losing more and more of them every day. And folks out there, are you progressives or you Democrats? Rights aren't given by government. Rights are given by God. Read the Founding Fathers' documents. Their dreams are worth fighting for. Their voices are worth fighting for. And most importantly, their voices are worth being heard on this floor, McCarthy said. Pelosi, who has led her party in the House since 2003, is the only woman to be Speaker, received 216 votes to McCarthy's 209. Think about that for a minute. If four members. Now, before I say this, I will say some Democrat cowards voted present. That way it doesn't affect the total. If you're wondering why the total doesn't add up to the number, that's why. Received 216 votes to McCarthy's 209. So that means if four people had voted for Kevin McCarthy instead of Nancy Pelosi, Kevin McCarthy would have been the Speaker. That's how tight the majority is. And these morons are going to try to push in a progressive, left-winged up agenda. Oh, this ought to be fun to watch. It was the first vote of the new Congress, which conveyed Sunday with COVID-19 guidelines requiring testing and face coverings for lawmakers. A little margin for error. Pelosi suffered only a handful of Democrat defections in the latest display of her ability to line up support, and no opponent challenged her for the job. Democrats gave Pelosi a standing ovation as the final tally was announced, while the Republican side of the chamber was nearly empty. I wouldn't stay either. The vote took over 2.5 hours, an unusually long time, as lawmakers were divided into groups to reduce health risk. I'll tell you, 4 votes. Not one Republican incumbent in the U.S. House of Representatives lost. And they consider this a victory. This is why these anomalies don't happen when it comes to the presidential election. They don't add up. But they're going to get away with it. And that's the way it is. We can go on and on and on and talk about witness statements and huge anomalies and irregularities, and we can do that till the cows come home. And, John, you're just a tinfoil hat. Yeah, whatever. But it's over with. They got away with it. I believe it's Aztec saying, it might be Incan, but I believe it's Aztec saying, that says, when the gods want to punish us, they answer our prayers. Until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.